Yeah.
suicide prevention,
Uh-huh.
depression, anxiety. When I hear mental health, those are the things I hear about the most for me.
Right. And that's why I want to jump in with mental health awareness. One, I say it all the time. One, you can't have community without communication. So if we're gonna speak on it, we're gonna make light of these topics. And two, you can't solve a problem that you're unaware of.
Let's go.
So self awareness is key. And I've been realizing a lot of people and a lot of people that I talk to, you can do self analysis. You don't have to, and not that I'm discouraging it, but you don't have to go to a professional to get the answers that you seek. I know Paul touch on it all the time. The answers are within. So if you can be more aware of yourself, then you have more control. And with that control, you're more liable of changing the trajectory and taking control of your mental health. Um, and that is pivotal, pivotal. Because once you have control of you and you keep control of you, then all of the external forces, all of the everything else doesn't really matter. You know,
True.
it doesn't really matter once you get strong, centered in, a grip on yourself. Shut up. Why we got to do this? Why we got to do the pause?
I ain't say nothing. I ain't say nothing this time. I ain't
I ain't
say
say no
nothing.
pause.
I didn't say nothing. Actually, I didn't think about it until you said something. That was kind of funny.
Silly. But yeah, man. If you ask anybody who works out, anybody who lifts weights, it doesn't matter how much weight it is. If you don't have a good grip, you're not going to be able to lift it. So you have to be able to get a grip on yourself in order to uplift yourself, right?
Hmm.
So that's where mental health awareness comes into play. For me, is being self-aware, like truly being self-aware, like being able to evaluate self and ask yourself those questions and talk to yourself, write to yourself, be in tune with yourself to understand when you don't understand. When you're confused, when whatever is happening, to be able to be like, is it me? Is it me? Is it something that I didn't know? Is it something that I did wrong? Why am I repeatedly going through these same things? And you're gonna go through the same problems until you learn from it. You're gonna keep making the same mistakes until you learn from it. So being self-aware is key to mental health awareness for me. So I think of those things as well. When we think of mental health awareness, those are like the top three: suicide, depression, anxiety, and suicide is usually a result from depression and anxiety.
Yeah.
Um, let's tap in on one of the three. Which one of y'all want to dive in on first?
I mean, I think I know what the nonprofit. Shout out to Rebuilding Men, my nonprofit, and everything like that. I was actually looking up some resources, that I could give to people and things like that. And one of the resources that came up was like that suicide hotline. So
Mm,
I think, man, especially with men, I forgot, it was like a statistic, like men are more likely, like 2 or 3 times more likely to commit suicide than women. You know what I'm saying? So I
right.
think maybe honing in on that suicide thing, it'll be something we haven't really dived into. I know for myself, it's weird. I wouldn't say I had suicidal thoughts before, but I had thoughts of like dang, I wish I didn't have to deal with this pain. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever I was going through. You know what I'm saying? I ain't never thought like, yo, like I want to take a gun and kill myself, or I want to, do something like that. But I had thoughts of like, man, shoot, if I don't wake up, man, shoot, at least I wouldn't have to be in pain no more. And my therapist, when I went to therapy, I think she had broke it down where it's like, it's not that people don't want to live, they just want the pain to end. They get tired of, they feel hopeless. They don't feel like there's any hope for them. And I guess maybe, we got the mindset Google with Trey, man, talking to people about like, I guess, how to find hope in the midst of the darkness and stuff like that, man. Like what were some of your thoughts on that aspect of it?
Gratitude, man. Ground yourself in gratitude. Ground yourself in gratitude. Is at no matter what you're going through, there's so many other things to be thankful for, and recognizing that when you're in the heat of the moment, when you're, for one, all of this is emotional, right? So you need emotional maturity in order to deal with this stuff, because when you're in the heat of it, your emotions are swimming out of control, and that's what's making you think that it's okay. It would be better if I just wasn't here. You're not able to actually process like what would be the consequence of causing myself harm. Even if it's spiritual, if you take yourself out, then you supposed to be going to hell. Like, and you want to go see all your other relatives in heaven, hopefully if they made it there. So if you take yourself out, that means you automatically cancel that. So I always look at it as ground yourself in gratitude, man. Ground yourself in gratitude. There's so much that you got to be thankful for. Whatever you're in pain over, this too shall pass. Um, whatever it is, man, try to get outside of yourself. So many people who suffer with depression and anxiety, they are in their isolation. They are in their lonely, and this is when it starts to get a hold of them, because now that you're only with you, you're constantly with those thoughts. Those thoughts repeated are going to reign true, and now it's like, well, this is the only option. Get around other people. Please get some sunlight. You need sunlight. The sunlight gives you the proper vitamins. You get the vitamin D. It's your biggest source of vitamin D from the sunlight, which literally triggers, happiness. So get you some vitamin D, get you some sunlight. A lot of people don't eat mushrooms, but that's like the second biggest source of vitamin D, unless you take a supplement. Um, but something of that sort, man, you gotta. And another thing that I really love to do is you gotta be still. Be still. Go out in nature and be still, man. And what I mean by be still is you gotta build your patience. You gotta just listen. Just acknowledge, like, there's so much life happening around you. You're a small part of this whole world. And overlooking some type of body of water, you see that it's vast. Your problems are more minuscule. Even if you look up to the stars, you'll see, like, man, your vision can't encompass all of what is out there. So possibilities are limitless, man. Possibilities are limitless, and you're only thinking with this, small train of mind, when it's like so much more out there. So it helps to gain perspective when you can get around different people, get around, just change your settings, man. If you take a certain route, a lot of people do a lot of their thinking on the way home or to work. Take a different route, take a different route.
Shine. Get your shine on. Get your shine on, shout it.
Yeah. So, hey, I put this on. I put it on everywhere. Booty cheeks, kneecaps,
underarms. I got the vanilla right here. Usually, hey, I got the lavender ones. It helped me sleep good. 'Cause I be sleeping like this, and I can smell it off my hands. I'm trying to tell you, feeling good. Y'all better rock with this.
Right.
It's that vanilla. Yeah.
Listen, man, we ain't being ashy no more. Hygiene.
Yeah.
Hygiene is important. You need to get your shine. It's hydrating. It's light. It lasts all day. You don't got to use a lot, and it's good from face to foot.
Historically, I don't really use lotion or nothing like that because I'm like in a hybrid, light skin, in between dark skin motherfuckers. Coming back from vacation, I'm a little sunburnt. So I needed something to get my skin back right because I'm feeling like a reptile right now. So I'm gonna get this baby going on when I get home.
Oh, and look, you gotta shine on, everybody. Hey, look, I got like 4 cases. I got a bunch of cases. And I got the big jar too. That's old school. Y'all don't even know about that. He don't even got those no more. But look, I'm telling y'all, this shine is amazing. Help with eczema, clear your skin up, all of that great stuff. So you don't want to miss out on this shine, man. Make sure y'all go get y'all a bottle of this.
All natural ingredients.
Absolutely.
Yep. Where they can find it?
So you can find this at shinecareproducts.com. Let them know that we sent you. Use the code FMF20, get you a discount.
Got to.
It's a change of scenery. Might change something that happened, and it'll change your thinking because you're not just on this, like, I could just solely beat myself up on this ride home. Like, change small things and go out your way to get out of your way.
Like that. You got anything to add to that, G?
Yeah, I mean, everything y'all said is correct 100%. I've learned throughout the years as being a man that my father used to always tell me. He said, "Don't come to me with problems, come to me with solutions." So I think that people, when they have certain mental things and mental traumas and stuff like that, not to discredit it because everybody go through stuff. I've been through stuff. Y'all been through stuff. Everybody go through things. But I think there's always a fine line where, all right, we got to stop thinking about what happened and how it happened to me and what happened in the past, and try to figure out more ways for solutions and figure out how to get out of it instead of staying in it.
That's right.
So it's not in the mindset to discredit what you went through. We heard you. We seen it maybe on video. Man, we might have heard it in the council. We heard you. We understand it. We feel for you. But now it's like, man, what you gonna do afterwards? Because some things the world just don't care about. The world don't care about some people's traumas, man, because it's just how the world is. And when I say that, meaning let's say like you born in if you brought up in a neighborhood and there's a whole bunch of crack around, everybody's selling, they doing wild stuff, they robbing and stuff like that. And then you get to a point where you actually get in trouble, and the law is like you facing 30 years. You can't go to the judge and be like, man, all the trauma that I came in my life, I ain't know what to do. I mean, it was around me, so I had to do it. My trauma in my mind made me do it. And you can say that all you want, but you still probably gonna get that 30 years.
Exactly.
So it has to come to a fine point where you know where you went through and you know what happened, but you have to learn how to sometimes get over things and try to build yourself up to fight those demons in your mind and in your soul, try to get them out and try to progress in life. So that's how I see it sometimes, man.
Hey, I want to add on to what G said because I agree with that thought process. I think sometimes we feel like when we go through stuff, we the only person that ever in life ever went through that problem. You know what I'm saying? Like we the only one that ever had a money issue. We the only one that ever had a girl mess around on you or something like that. You the only, no, man. I think a lot of times with some of the stuff we go through, the reason why we take it so hard is because we feel ashamed or, we feel this or that. But, this stuff happened to everybody. Everybody got life stuff they dealing with. You know what I'm saying? Everybody got life stuff. And I think, for me, that's what helped change my perspective. Because the last thing I felt like I was really, like embarrassed about, or really like got me into that deep depression type of thing was my divorce. You know what I'm saying? And but I got to that level because I felt ashamed of it. You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't see no divorce in my family growing up, so I'm like, shoot, like I'm the only one going through it. But then you get out here, you start talking with people and stuff like that. Like, yo, like that happens all the time, yo. People, women lead them all the time. People, man lead a woman all the time. Like, yo, it happens, yo. Like, we all go through stuff. We all probably done been bullied before. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Everybody.
those are the things, like, I think we take it so personal. Like, we the only person in life that go through these issues, and I think that's what make it tough for us to get out of it, because we think we the only ones. And that's why what Rebuilding Men is so important, to let people know, like, bro, you're not the only one that gone through this. You're not the only one that lost their job and got bills piling up and worry about how you're gonna pay your bills. You're not the only one that, you know what I'm saying, got a strained relationship with your child and stuff like that, and you trying to sort through that. Baby mama tripping. Yo, people got that, and they still figured out a way to progress and move forward. And that's the thing, I think, to add on with G, when we get to the point of that solution based thinking, instead of just sitting and wallowing in whatever we in. But I think part of what helped with the solution is people realizing, like, yo, I ain't the only one that been through this, and there's other people that made it out. So shoot, I can do it too. And I think that's the power of what Trey said. You can't have community without communication, man. You start talking to people, you realize how much we really got in common through some of the issues that we've all had before, some of the trials and tribulations. This person went through it. This is how they made it out. Maybe I should try the same thing they did. Or this person did this and it got worse for them. Maybe I need to try something different. Like all that stuff, man, we can learn from one another just by having conversations and talking with people. But you got to have that solution-based mindset where you be like, yo, like, I ain't the only person that went through this. And I know it might not help some people, but for me, that's what helped me, because now my problem don't seem as bad. It's not just personalized to me. Like, yo, this is a life thing. People got to go through some trials and tribulations in order to get to where you want to go. Even if you want to do nothing with your life, you still gonna have trials and tribulations. Either way, it's gonna come. So realizing that, yo, whatever happened in life, you're gonna have some issues, and there's other people that had the same issues and overcame them. That's what helped me be like, you know what, hey Paul, take your second, process, go through what, figure out what's going on emotionally, mentally with yourself, and then, all right, it's time to snap out of it. Let's figure out how to get past this now. So just to kind of piggyback on G, man, that solution-based thinking, man, is so vital to getting out that depressive state, or else you're gonna always have that little piece of depression with you for the rest of your life, yo. And you ain't never gonna get out that hole.
It's that labeling, man. And a lot of people, like, they succumb to the labeling. So once somebody say that they're depressed, it sticks with them, because coddling, you get coddled, you get sympathy instead of empathy. Sympathy is not your fault. It's not your problem. Everybody else is wrong. Cry on my shoulder. That's sympathy. Empathy is simply understanding. And when you talk to somebody who can empathize, like, we just want to be understood. I understood the situation might be effed up. It might be messed up, but you still got a whole life. So what you gonna do from here? What you gonna do now? Like, all right, now it's time to pick yourself up. Now it's time to do better, feel better about yourself. Now it's time to start this process. You got to do something. You feel me?
Yeah.
So that's why getting other people's perspectives and talking to other people, especially people who have been through it, because those people could tell you, like, yo, it's not the end. Even though I know you feeling it right now, it's not the end. I was talking to one of my I consider one of my clients, one of my prospects. But I was talking to him, man. He's going through a bad breakup. He's like, I love her more than any other woman, and I'm like, why? Why? Like it sounds good, and I ain't knocking you, but until you can like put some, until you understand your own, like why are you feeling this way and what happened and all of that stuff, then you're always gonna be stuck in that pity party, bro, that nobody gonna come to. So yeah, you talk to me. I'm not. Same thing as G said, bro. You can come to me about your problem, but we're not gonna sit here and talk about the problem all the time. We're gonna talk about we talking about solutions. If you're not talking about working on the problem, what have you done? You can't come to me again with the same, I ain't did nothing about it, but I'm still facing the same thing. All right, go do the last thing that we already discussed. Go do the last thing we already discussed. Come back to me with the result, or don't come back to me.
Hey, Trey, man, gangster with him, yo.
Thugging it out.
Hey, look, I got a question, and then I got a follow up question after this, man. Do y'all know anybody like personally that committed suicide before?
Ah,
That's been what?
That committed suicide before, like somebody that y'all know.
it's people that I know, but not that I was so close with that it affected me too terribly.
Hmm.
It still affected me. And a lot of times when suicide to me is always questionable. Like, was it really a suicide? What happened? Because people starting to throw that around. Like, I saw somebody. I was in a restaurant one day, and you know how the glass could be clear. Bird flew into the window. They was like, "Oh, the bird flew into the window. He committed suicide." Like, no, he didn't. He just didn't. It was an accident.
Yeah, yeah, I get what you're saying. Yeah,
Like, we throw that around too leisurely, man. But for somebody to actually die from suicide, nah. I know quite a few people that attempted, and each time it was for attention and understanding. Like I said, everybody wants to be understood. So you feel so misunderstood, so unheard, so unimportant. You dealing with your stuff, you don't know how to deal with it. You don't feel like you have an outlet. Then it feels like a viable solution, or it's more like, "Hey, world, pay attention to me." It's like an outcry. But somebody who like caused like died from suicide. I know suicide attempts, but I don't know somebody who died from suicide that affected me
yeah,
too terribly.
yeah. What about you, G?
Nah, I don't know nobody that committed suicide. Nah, somebody killed them, but they actually took they self out. Nah, I don't know
Yeah,
nobody.
yeah. The reason I was asking, because I'm kind of like with Trey. I came across a few people that committed suicide that I know, but I wouldn't say I had like a deep relationship with them. But the thing that I noticed about the people that committed the suicide or what was said as suicide is
Yeah,
that, man, you wouldn't be able to tell, man. You
yeah,
know what I'm saying? Like it's man, people got these internal demons
yeah,
that they struggle with, man. And I feel like what I want the purpose of this podcast is just, if anybody's having those thoughts, man, you got to find some way to handle those things. You know what I'm saying? You got to figure out a way to take it a day at a time and figure out what healthy outlet works for you to overcome it. Because the people that I know, man, they smile just as much as I do. You know what I'm saying? Like they the people you like, what? That person, he seemed like he enjoyed life. You know what I'm saying? And
mhm,
I think where I wanted to take it to is something that I've been trying to work on. Like Trey definitely knows about me, man. Like I've been trying to do better at reaching out to people.
yeah,
I heard a lady say, no, it was a guy. I think he was on a podcast. What Kevin Gates? Kevin Gates talked about he was about to get ready to commit suicide, and a
hmm,
dude, one of his fans came up and hugged him outside the gym right before he said he was about to commit suicide, and was like, "Yo, the people need you, man. Like, yo, I appreciate you and your music and how much it touched the people and everything like that. And Kevin Gates told his fan, like, yo, bro, like, I want to thank you, man. God must have sent you because I was about to get ready off myself. But you
Yeah.
came in and you showed me my purpose for being here. And so sometimes, man, and that's why, like, I'm real big on showing people love and not being afraid to, to show love and appreciation for people because we don't know what people going through, especially
Yeah.
with us men. I can speak for myself. I don't like talking about the stuff I'm going through. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
I don't want to talk about that stuff, man. But you don't understand. Every single time somebody out the blue hit me up, like, yo, Paul, what's going on, man? Just checking on you, how you been, and all that stuff, and blah 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 blah, and put a smile on my face and be like, you know what? All right, I'm good. I can keep working through it. And
Yeah.
I just want to let people know, man, yo, it's all right to call and check up on people. I know I need to do a better job, and I'm actively working on doing a better job with that. But
Yeah.
man, yo, the people that's closest to you, man, a lot of times they ain't gonna tell you what's really going on for real. And I understand it. I ain't mad at them. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Like everybody got to figure their own stuff out. But sometimes, man, it gets to the point where it become a burden to you. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And then you get so deep into your feelings and emotion, you feel like you can't talk to nobody.
Mhm.
Feel like you can't tell people what's going on because you're just so stuck and embarrassed. But sometimes, man, that one phone call or that one conversation that be like, "Yo, bro, you all right?" And it just let you able to just let everything just tell everything that's going on, man. So that's why I wanted to bring up that talk, man, because a lot of times from what I've seen from my little bit of life experience, the people that committed suicide, man, they seem to be the happiest, smilest people, but people still got to check up on your good friends and stuff like that too.
But that happens because they're usually the strong ones. People that bring that type of energy, they know that other people are relying upon them for that. So while they're suffering, they just putting on a happy image for other people around them. Well, at least I'm doing them some good. At least I'm sheltering them from what I'm dealing with. And that's a facade. That's a blanket, you know. So yeah, man, and it's usually one extreme or the other. When you're looking for symptoms of depression and suicidal thoughts, one, we can't read nobody's mind. So if you're looking for, those type of symptoms, it's usually a high or a low. Like
Yeah.
you ain't left the house for days, you ain't bathed, you're not eating, you're not taking care of yourself. You haven't come into work. You're not even calling. You're not answering the phone. I had to break in here just to see you. That's when it's like, all right, yo, nah. That usually is like, let's go outside, get you some fresh air, and start talking, start working on something. Or in the example that you gave, it's the high. Like, oh, you look like you super enthusiastic, always ready, always on the go, always upbeat. It's like, like I feel you and I want you to be that way. I want it to be real, but ones who've been through some stuff can kind of feel it, like, and that's why I just encourage check on the strong ones. Check in with your people anyway, but check on the strong ones. Y'all know who the ones who carry the team, or the one who talking to, making sure everybody else good. Make sure that person good too. Like who checking in with the one who checks in with everybody else. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that goes a long way, like we all speaking on. And it's just love, bro. We all just want to be understood. We all just want to feel purposeful. We want to be seen, acknowledged, and understood. So if
Very
somebody
true.
just say, and it's a small act for us to just say, I was thinking about you. Like I'm big on love. I can give tough love, especially to the guys. I'm stern with my time and stuff like that. But everybody knows where I stand when it comes to love. Like I'm gonna check on you. I'm gonna be with you. If you need me, I'm there for you. We could talk all day if you need it. I give you that. Um, And I say that for a lot of guys, they feel like they become timid when it comes to this side. You know, they become timid. This is where your emotional maturity is lacking. They become timid and think that, you know, it's wrong or it's less of a man, you're weak for being in this position, when really this is where strength is developed. This is where
Yeah.
you get strong. This is where the tough is built. This is how you become tough. Pretending tough, you ain't gonna work. This is it. When you feeling it, you going through something, that's where it's at.
Exactly. That makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense. Make a lot of sense.
I think of it like this is a war. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I like that.
and you got your peoples that's with you. And my thing is, like, when you at war, you gonna encourage your people. Like, God damn it, go through that course. You know, hey, take that enemy out. Like, yo, you can do it. Like, they encourage it. They might be rough and tough with it, but it's encouraging though. You know what I'm saying? Like, I always try to uplift my people. You know what I'm saying? Like, the people that's around me, I try to encourage them, because we all need some form of encouragement. The first encouragement should come from yourself. You should be self-motivated and be able to encourage yourself, but it also feel good to have people around you that acknowledge some of the stuff that you're doing and everything as well too, man. So, like, I think of it like, you know, you at war, and the people that you know, your team and everything, that's the people you going to war with. And so you gotta encourage them, motivate them. Sometimes you might gotta be like, yo, hey man, we gotta get to it, chop chop. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, we all gotta do that, but at the end of the day, it's because we fighting for a common goal. You know what I'm saying? We all trying to become better people. We all trying to better our communities, you know, better our family situations and all this stuff, yo. So it just, man, those check-ins is really like that. Yo, what's up, man? You doing all right? Yo, man, hey, you got this. Yo, like, what you need?
Yeah.
Is there anything I could possibly assist with to help you get to where you need to go? You know what I'm saying? Like, let's help one another, and just trying to just keep everything moving. So, you know, I like this topic because I think we get to a point now, man, where it's just like, I understand it. It's real individualistic right now. And I get it, because I'm a solo guy. I'm a lone wolf for real. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm a lone wolf. I know it, but I understand when you got a pack with you though, man, you could take down anything for real.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If you got you a pack, a lone wolf, I come up against a grizzly bear, yo, that mother gonna maul me to death. If I got a pack with me, yo, we might can take that grizzly bear out. So I feel like we get into a real time now where it's like, it's I gotta get it, and you know, everybody else gotta figure it out, or I gotta get it, and you know what? If you want my time, you gotta break the bank to talk to me and figure it out. You know what I'm saying? Like, I understand.
Right.
We all professionals, all of us, the different professionals, finance, we got mindset, we got fitness. You know what I'm saying? We got all of that stuff. So yeah, we might want to be compensated for our time, but what we're trying to do is we're trying to add value to people. We ain't trying to break your pockets. You know what I'm saying? Everything we're trying to do is trying to help you get to where you want to go. And we got to take time away from our families. You know what I'm saying? We're taking time away from other things that we could be doing so we can add value to you. And we all do it at reasonable prices. Some of the stuff is free. You got G. He been putting in work for years on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? Years of content. All types of workouts in all different locations. The progress in this page been amazing. That's free content that he been giving to the world for years. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what we talking about, man. Everything don't gotta always have a price tag or a crazy price tag associated with it. It could come from, yo, man, we just trying to look out. We trying to do our part, better our communities, help our people out, and still be able to provide for our families, because we out here on the solo grind. You know what I'm saying? It's all good, man. Like, we out here really trying to help, and we trying to get that mindset of like brotherhood again. Like, this is, we trying to formulate brotherhood. It don't, we might got different thoughts and opinions. We might got different ways of doing it. Ain't no right or wrong way to do it. We all got different views, But the goal is, yo, man, I respect where you coming from. You
Yeah.
respect where I'm coming from. All right, that's how you operate. This how I operate. How can we work together to get this whole community, get our people to where we need to go? And
Yeah.
that's what we trying to do, man, for real. And that's why I love this topic, because people that's facing suicide, they
They put along.
it's not and anybody that's listening, these are not shots or anything for people that that committed suicide, but they
Right.
really at that moment they really only think about themselves at that moment. They think it's no hope. I can't add no value to nobody. I can't even add value to myself.
Oh, yeah.
And man, we all valuable people, man. We all got something that we can bring to the table.
Right.
And the thing is, we don't never tell each other that. We don't communicate each other. We walk around stone faced. We walk around black on black crime and killing each other because we see ourselves in each other. You know what I'm saying? Like we trying to work on like getting this stuff together, man. And that's the beautiful part about this podcast, man. And these type of topics, bro. The people out there that's going through those suicidal thoughts, yo, you're not alone, man. Take it a day at a time. Like we said, take the suggestions. Change up some of the diet some of the foods that you're eating. Start getting outside, working out. Start surrounding yourself with more positive people that's going to encourage you. That's not just trying to use you. You know what I'm saying? Like people out here trying to use people, man. Like we working on it, man. We working on it. We bettering ourselves, and in return, we helping each other better each other. And so, man, that's what I love about this podcast, man. And I really think this is a great topic because this goes into the point of this podcast, man. All my fellas out here, you more than just a paycheck to women. You know what I'm saying? You more than just food and whining and dining. Yo, you got strength, man. We sitting out here we warriors. We made the fight, yo. We made the fight through this stuff, man. What you going through, you can fight it, you can beat it. Take it a day at a time, work on your mind, work on your body, work on your spirit. And everything, you'll look back on that time and be like, yo, that was the best thing that ever happened to me. Because I transformed from that. I transformed and I became a beast. I became a beast for real. You know what I'm saying? So, man, y'all fellas, man, our prayers, our energy, we send a positive energy out to all y'all that's dealing with suicidal thoughts and all that stuff, man. Take it a day at a time, man. Y'all got this. Y'all got it, man.
Yep.
Fall fresh off the accident, he gonna come with the gems.
Right, yeah, man. Look, hey, and I won't even try to take myself out. Somebody, they was trying to get me.
Yeah.
They was trying to get me though, but I'm hey, you gotta come a little bit harder to get me out.
He better. That shit had me, bro. I ain't gonna lie, bro. That joint had me. I was hot for a hot minute because, and I knew it was gonna be misunderstood, so I had to go through that problem with myself, and I had to talk to my wife about it. She was like, "Oh, like understood that it's love, but you got to let some stuff go, and that goes in the formula as well." So one of the things that if you feel like I'm gonna give this quick tip. If you feel like you don't know what value you bring, listen to what other people tell you. Listen to what other people tell you. Other people will tell you, yo, I love your smile. I love your energy. What does that mean? I love when you do such and such, or thank you for just being you. What does that mean? You know, when people start complimenting you on the basics, the bare minimums, those things, the smallest things mean so much. That's one of the reasons why I smile so much. So many people told me how it literally can change their day. I was like, well, at one point I wasn't smiling for me. I was smiling for other people. And then it became a habit. And now it's like I find something to smile about every day. Every day is something to smile about.
I like it.
What's up, Mr. Wentz? You gotta take
You
your
got a
mic
guest
off.
on now.
Peace. What's going on, fellas?
God almighty. That boy, yo, yeah, that boy, please.
And that's a smooth dude right there, man.
Oh, Rocket West, man. That's my guy, man. West my guy.
Bro. I
No, I had
love
to
it.
tap in with y'all, man.
Yeah.
It's an honor, man.
You
It's
put
an
the back
honor.
call out. I gotta come out there, man.
Yeah, man, it's
Yeah.
an honor, man. It's really an honor to have you on here with us again,
Likewise.
man. We still getting comments, we still getting views just because you graced us with your presence on our episode last month, man. So
I
FMF,
appreciate
bro,
y'all,
we
man.
always appreciate you, man, to have another talented and smart black man on this platform, boss.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Y'all are
Appreciate y'all,
deep
man.
in the game.
Y'all dropping them gems on there, man. I just
Yeah,
popped
man.
in. I said, okay, I already Paul out there dropping them gems on them already, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. What we was talking about, we came up on the topic of suicide. So in particular, it was mental health, and we talked about what come to mind when you think about mental health. And so, suicide, anxiety, depression popped up. But we decided to focus on suicide, man, because that's something amongst men that's really running rampant compared to females. That the rate of suicide amongst males is I think like 2 or 3 times more likely. You know what I'm
Sure.
saying? So we were just talking about stuff like uh, preventative measures, things that people could do if they start to have those suicidal thoughts, and then just some type of form of encouragement. So if you got anything to speak towards that, Wes, man, the floor yours.
Yeah, give us a few minutes because we're gonna give us about a good like that, but 9-10 minutes. We're gonna go to the next topic. Go and give us something, Wes.
For sure. You brought up mental health and then you brought up suicide. So I'll give you 2 points that came to mind on that. One thing with mental health, we have to understand environment. So when you talk about suicide, a lot of that happens based off of, from my experience, is off of your environment. A lot of times you feel alone, even if you have family, even if you have friends, even if you're in certain communities or brotherhoods, you still may feel alone. You still may feel by yourself. You may feel like you're around people that you love, but you're still not so-called like-minded. So that's when we talk about mental health and that mind conditioning. We talked about that on the episode before. When you talk about conditioning and you talking about you not necessarily being yourself, you're being what you want other people to, I guess you could say, appear to be. You can be what you appear to be, but not who you truly are. So there's a struggle. There's a fight between who you truly are and who you think everyone wants you to be, or I got to pay these bills, so I got to do this certain thing, or I have to appeal to this mate, or I got to appeal to my family. But at the end of the day, you're trapped in this person that's trying to get out, so to speak. So I always think about environment. So for me, I had to change my environment. I had to change the conversations that I was having in order to get out of that so-called rat race, get out of that dark space, in the sense of you in this loop where you're not sure what's going to happen next. You're kind of looking at things from a standpoint where you're like, if this is all it is, then it's over with. Then I don't want to keep participating in this. So the best thing that I would encourage anyone to do is you have to disrupt that thinking. The best way to change something is to change something. You're not going to change anything if you don't change anything. So when you talk about mental health, when you talk about suicide, when you talk about depression, the first thing that comes to my mind is your environment and what you're choosing to consume. So when you talk about consumption, okay, y'all spoke on fitness and you spoke on nutrition. So what you eat is one thing, but also the entertainment that you're consuming, the education that you're consuming, or the lack of entertainment or education that you consume, because you can drown yourself in education. I got a lot of books in here. I can read them all day, but if you're not getting out here applying that information, you can get depressed just because you feel like, well, I don't feel comfortable around anybody because no one has anything that I want to talk about. But you have a lot of things you can talk about because you've built up this information. But information is nothing if you're not getting any knowledge. And as you speak about, Trey, applied knowledge is power. It's not just knowledge. Knowledge is a power, but that power can be a weapon against you if you don't know how to apply it. So when I think of mental health, is environment, it's disrupting that environment. Sometimes that means you need to start talking different in that environment. That environment might start changing for you. If you got people around you that's not speaking encouraging around you, you start talking encouraging to yourself around them, they're gonna start getting it like, I don't want to be around that. Mischief loves company. Misery loves company. Self-hate loves or requires company. You can't just be out here as a so-called hater and be by yourself. You got to be around other people to validate your hate. So if you hate yourself, you're going to get around other people that hate themselves as well to validate your wrongdoing. But self-love requires change. You got to get around some people that want to change. You got to get around, even if you're doing something wrong, you got to get around some people that's changing so you can feel like, okay, I need to straighten up a little bit. I need to get myself together. Yeah, I got all this information, but I need to get myself together. But that's going to give you the encouragement to get out of that dark space because you see some light at the end of the tunnel because someone is being a clean glass that I can see. I can get next to them so I can learn how to clean minds up so I can get better. You see what I'm saying? So to kind of sum it up, we talked about environment. We talking about disrupting that with a change. And then lastly is not beating yourself up. So when you talk about that self-image, you have to be in love with who you are becoming. You have to be in love with the things that you're going through, but you're growing through them.
Yeah.
I'm in a power group every morning, Monday through Friday. So every morning we're learning from, we listen to ET, we listen to the teachings from Minister Louis Farrakhan, we looking at mindset books. We out here trying to improve every day. So if you can just get better, 1% better every day, you can get better. You can start looking at things a little bit different, 365 in a whole year. So you can get better every day, not just trying to eat the whole elephant in one bite. I'm going to just change who I am tomorrow. No, you need to work on those habits so you can start reaching some tasks. You need to start completing some tasks so you can complete some goals, complete your goals so you can see your vision. So I would encourage, change your environment, start changing your habits, and start consuming things that are beneficial to your growth.
Hello.
That's a good way to close that topic up, man.
Oh,
Yo,
man.
Wes killing it, man. Wes be killing it, yeah.
My man.
That man is playing today. I like it. I like it. I like it. Dang, I can't wait to watch the replay of that. I got some notes to take. I got some notes to take, man.